Tom Helm claimed his second List A 5-wicket haul, but it wasn't enough to prevent Hampshire from earning a 119-run Royal London One Day Cup victory in Southampton. Bowling first, Middlesex didn't get the start they'd hoped for as Aidan Markram and Tom Alsop took 52 runs off the opening 10 overs with few alarms. Tim Murtagh had bowled well though and deserved the wicket of Alsop, who nicked off for 23. Helm's first success came at the start of the 17th over. Stevie Eskenazi completed the dismissal to get rid of James Vince for 14. South African international Markram went to his runner ball 50 in the same over before Hampshire ran up their 100 in the 20th. Spin twins Nathan Souter and David Milan then put a squeeze on things. Milan rewarded with the dismissal of Sam Northeast for 18. Stephen Finn then returned to have Markram held by Helm for 88, and Middlesex seemingly were in the ascendancy. But rather than panic, the One Day Cup champions looked to Liam Dawson and Riley Russo to get them out of trouble, and the pair did so by playing with care and attention, refusing to take too many risks. Indeed, the first 6 of the innings did not arrive until the 41st over, as Dawson went after Souter. The partnership had realised 81 runs when Souter exacted his revenge, Murtagh holding on in the deep as Dawson left with 43 runs to his name. Russo remained to complete a 50 off 49 balls, but into the final 5 overs he was out for 64, Helm with his second wicket. And his third arrived next ball, Gareth Berg in and out in a flash, the home side on 260 for 7 with 4 overs left. Helm struck twice more in his next over. Kyle Abbott skied to Paul Sterling, while James Fuller picked out George Scott after a very handy 26. Chris Wood cleared the rope in the final over as Hampshire made 301 for 9, Helm with figures of 5 for 71. Given their form in this format thus far, Middlesex would have fancied chasing that down, especially when Milan took 3 successive 4s off Abbott in the opening over of the reply. Sterling also tucked into the same man as 25 runs were very quickly on the board. But Abbott showed his experience and trapped Sterling in front for 10, before he had Milan taken by Fuller for 18 in his next over. So it was left to John Simpson and Owen Morgan to start the rebuilding process, and this they did by adding 65 runs for the third wicket. It appeared to be a partnership which would soon have the visitors back in control. But Markram hadn't finished his day's work yet. He had Simpson stumped for 36, and then also removed Morgan for 41 as he holed out to Abbott. Nick Gubbins was unable to continue his fine form and departed for a single to Markram. And when Scott was bowled by fellow spinner Dawson for 1, Middlesex had slumped to 121 for 6 after 23 overs. Dawson then also did for Helm, who was caught by Berg for 8. While next ball, Souter was taken behind, the game up for the visitors. Not even Eskenazi could save the day this time. He'd made 33 when he picked out Markram off Abbott, leaving it to yet another spinner in Mason Crane to wrap things up. Middlesex all out for 182. So the visitors slipped to a 119-run defeat, their first loss from 3 in this competition. They'll look to right that wrong at the Oval against Surrey on Thursday.